going on, everybody? This is Bobby G back again with another Saturday Shpiel. For this week, what we're going to be going through is Psalm 23 and 2 Corinthians chapter 4. Now, Psalm 23 might seem kind of a drag or a downer because Psalm 23 is usually said at very sad occasions. But when we read Psalm 23, it talks about how the Lord prepares us a table in the presence of our enemies, and that our cup runneth over. And that even though we walk through the valley of the shadow of death, we will fear no evil, for God is with us. Our rod and our staff, He comforts us. And it's interesting to note how it says, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. And if you walk through the Holy Land today, or if you walk through the Grand Canyon in this country, or if you walk through many mountain valleys in different parts of the world, you can see the difference in how shadows of the mountains can really cast over. That being said, David says that God is there with him in spite of those things, not apart from them. Also, to go to 2 Corinthians chapter 4, Paul talks about how we don't lose heart because of the fact that God is with us. And he talks about how, it goes that old song, I am pressed but not crushed, persecuted but abandoned, struck down but not destroyed, I am blessed beyond the curse, all that, right? And it talks about, right in the beginning of 2 Corinthians chapter 2, where it says, for this reason, since we have this ministry, just as we have received mercy, we do not lose heart. Instead, we renounce the hidden shameful ways, not walking in deception or distorting the word of God, but commending ourselves before God to everyone's conscience by the open proclamation of the truth. And even if our good news is veiled, it is veiled to those who are perishing. In their case, the God of this world has blinded the minds of the unbelieving so that they might not see the light of the good news of the glory of the Messiah, who is the image of God. For we do not proclaim ourselves, but Messiah Yeshua as Lord, and ourselves as your servants for Yeshua's sake. For God, who said, let the light shine out of darkness, is the one who has shown in our hearts to give light of the knowledge of the glory of God in the face of Messiah. And it's talking about this gift of light that comes from living in Yeshua, also known as Jesus, and that is because of this light, it is because of this hope that we have in our hearts. Even though this body is perishing, we possess something that is eternal, that is imperishable, and so we don't lose heart. And if what is presented is veiled, it's not to us. It's not to us. And, I can't say where everybody's heart is in this world, let alone in this country, let alone in this state, let alone in this city. But I will say this. If we are indeed the children of God, if we are indeed those who possess the light of the world, if we possess that which brings the dead to life, that heals the sick, that gives comfort to those who are in mourning, that gives joy and gladness in the midst of persecution and all of these things. If we serve a God who is risen from the dead and sits at the right hand of God and is coming again one day, and if we know as followers of Yeshua, if we know as followers of the Most High, that at some point everyone's going to have to be accountable before God, then we should not have to worry about what's going to take place. Times are hard here on earth. I grant that, I understand that, and I realize that. Believe me, I'm on furlough. to put my own business out there. I'm on furlough, and it's been a challenge for me out here. But in spite of those things, the saints that I have looked out for in the past are now looking out for me. And because of that, and because of how God has miraculously in many ways provided for me, I do not lose heart in spite of how challenging things are, and I still push forward. My challenge and my question for you this week is to ask yourselves, what has God brought me through already that has been hard? Not just what is God bringing me through now, but what are the challenges and the hard times in your life that God has come through time after time after time after time? Like it says in the book of Philippians, whatever is just, whatever is good, whatever is lovely, whatever is pure, if there is anything excellent or worthy of praise, think on these things, and the God of all peace, the God of all shalom, will be with you. It's my challenge this week. Hope everybody does well. Again, Psalm 23 and 2 Corinthians chapter 4 for those who want the references. Take it easy. Hope you have a blessed week. Bye now.